So let's get started here. See what we have on our first slide. So this webinar, we named it Leaders Lead. And let's see if we can get a new slide up here and going. Yep. Leaders Lead. So what do we mean by that? Well, the thing is that any business, and especially our business, can't be successful without leaders. And we have great leaders in this company. We only been around for a year now. We're coming up on a year here in the end of January, and amazingly, we have passed. We have passed all records that we actually uh, believed ourselves. And it's been going great all along. We have delivered, the company have delivered, we have the system set up. You can just feel comfortable working this business. But still, doesn't matter how good the back office is, doesn't matter how good the programmers have programmed our system so we can work with it, doesn't matter how good the products are, doesn't matter nothing if we don't have good leaders. And we have great leaders in this company. And we're gonna have some honoring mentions later, but without leaders, there's no business, because the leaders are the people who go, take the um, take charge of stuff, take charge and go ahead. A leader doesn't wait. And if you're on this call, this webinar today, and maybe you think, well, I'm just started, I'm new. The purpose of you being on this webinar is to become a leader. Many people think that most people are born leaders. Well, that could be the case in some small percentage, but I believe that a leader is built. You build yourself up to be a leader. And how do you do that? Well, that's why we have these webinars, so you can get some information about what to do and get some insights, get some motivation, some inspiration, some new information that you haven't heard before. And I learned something. I had a mentor and many years ago, and he said, when you're in a seminar or you're listening into something new, and that seminar is going on for 3 hours, and he said, if you only get one sentence out of that seminar that you write down that can help you, that it was worth it. And that it's called picking up the gold nuggets. You don't have to have all information, you don't have to know it all, you don't have to catch everything, because it will come in the end. It will come slowly. You're getting into it. So if you're new, you got to be on these webinars, and you have to be in the system, working the system with your upline leaders, because they are taking the pace, staking out where we're going, how we're going to do it, when we're going to do it, how we're going to do it. And there's some special treats for leaders. You know, so let's go to the next slide, see what we have there. So when you know let's say like this, when you're starting this business, you had a purpose. Something drove you to sign up and do this business. For most people, of course, it was money. It was the money thing. You saw an opportunity of doing something that never been done before with Crowd1. But as a matter of fact, it's not the money that you're looking for, because money will come as a symptom of becoming a leader. When you're a leader, money will pour in. Money will start to pour in because it's a law. It's a law. And we're working with laws. And there are bylaws and there are laws. But a law is an axiom. That means that money will always come to the people who serve the most. When you are and a leader, you start with one guy. You start with one, two, three, 5, 10, 50, 100, and it will grow. But the whole purpose is become a leader yourself so you can lead people. And a leader is always a reader. That means it's a broad spectrum. It's not, because it's a little old fashioned because people don't read books that as much as they used to do. But I can tell you, books is still good. Maybe you don't think you have the time. You have the time. It's not about having the time. It's about taking the time. And not everything is online because you gotta have some pure, some good information. There's some really good books that I can recommend if you haven't read them. One book that's really phenomenal is Think and Grow Rich by Robert Kiyosaki. Um, if you haven't read that one, read it. And there's another one by him called Business School, uh, where he actually talks about this industry. You can read that, Business School. It's an awesome book, um, um, where you get some insights that you never had before. Think and Grow Rich, of course, is a classical. The Magic of Thinking Big is another one. There's so much books out there, and if you want to, I can make a list that we can, talk about later. But leaders are readers. That means not only reading books, it means being on this webinar. Because if you have people being on this webinar and you're not, how can you lead the people when they have the information before you? So you gotta teach your crowd, you gotta teach your people that leaders that always show up first and leave last. Leaders are the ones that have the information first. Leaders are always showing up wherever there is something going on with Crowd1. They're showing up, and that's 100%. Um, it's 100% quality of a person, to show up. You know, everyone has worth, but not everyone has value. Did you get that? Everyone has worth, but not everyone has value. That means that we don't look down on people because they're not in this business or they're not leaders or they're just start getting started. They are humans. But the thing is, value comes from being a leader, reading, getting new information, starting to acquire principles. Because most of us, like me, when I started this business many years ago, I was broke, busted, disgusted, but I was looking for a way out. I was looking for something. And network marketing, it happened to, it just jumped into my need because I was willing, because I was open, because I was looking. I had a dream. I had something inside of me that said, this is not enough. This can't be it. This can't be all, about life. And I was playing music back then, and by chance, I just got into this industry. But I was hungry. I was ready. I was ready to go somewhere. I was ready to learn. I said to myself, if I'm gonna just copy my sponsor, whatever he does, I'm gonna do exactly what he does because I knew. I don't know how I knew, but I knew if I copy him, I will be successful. And he was really successful at the point. So you got to empower yourself. That word empower means that, power, empower. That means that you have the power to move mountains, to do something that you've never done before. And the thing is, if you're going to have something that you haven't had before, you're going to do something you've never done before. So leaders are readers. What does it more mean? Well, it means that, ego is know it all. I'm still at number 1 point, doesn't matter. uh, Ego tells you that you know it all, but ego is edging God out. That means that you got to acquire new information all the time. You got to keep that fear out, because the thing that stands in the way of success for most people is fear. They fear the uncertainty, they fear other people, they fear rejection, they fear whatever it is, they fear travel, they fear a lot of stuff. So these webinars and to be a reader is all about getting the fear out, you know, so you can start acquiring your success. So leaders are readers. Leaders are also feeders. What that mean? Well, when you have your information, you gotta feed your crowd. You gotta tell them this is about feeding your crowd in many, many ways. This is one way. You tell them you have to be on this Sunday webinar because you will get some information that will wake you up. Maybe you hear one word, you have one sentence, you're picking up the gold nuggets. So you are a leader, then you feed. You start telling your crowd where to go, where to be, what to listen to, what to do. We have a system of a short presentation, webinar or phone call or a bigger business presentation and then event. It's a four-piece of our system. So you have to tell your people, how to build. Some people, they know this business, they come in this business, they have done something before. Of course, that's super good, but not everyone knows it all. So you have to teach people like they never heard it before. Okay, and that's a principle, because you got to treat people the same way all the time. So leaders are readers, leaders are feeders. You got to feed your crowd with motivation, because they are scared. They all still suffer from this fear. Maybe if I don't succeed, what should my neighbor think? Or what's gonna happen? Or maybe when we starting this Crowd1 business, a lot of people will think, oh, maybe there's not going to be any gaming or gambling. Have we proven ourselves? Yes, we have. We're now in 10 different countries, I think, or something like that. And we have affiliates that we work with, and we're still producing new companies almost every week. Bam, 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 bam. But some people had fear. You know what? Fear doesn't lead anywhere. And the people who had fear, they probably didn't join, or they probably didn't work that hard. Because if you have fear, you're not doing your fully potential. You're not doing it because you have that fear thing. And my mindset has always been, just do it. I love that saying, just do it, because when you do it, you can always change later. But you got to do it. Just got to go out and just do it. So leaders are feeders. That means you got to stay in contact with your group. You got to have a routine where you call them either every day. Some people you call every day, some people you call every third day, and some people you call once a week. And of course, as soon as your group grow, you stay in contact with people. You can't call everyone. That's why you need to have a system. Because when you build a system, when you teach people how to do this by the system, you can actually have residual income because you're duplicating yourself. That means that when you have 100 people, you can call everyone. When you have 10,000 people, you can't call everyone. How shall you make sure that people are doing the business the same way, the same successful way as you are doing? Well, that's all about the system. You duplicate the system. We have a short presentation made by Bjorn that is amazing. Use it. Tell people how to do the business. Show them the way. Show them the way out of poverty. You know, you're not called for everybody, but you're called for somebody. What does that mean? That means that you can't help everyone because everyone doesn't want to be helped. But there's someone out there that are looking for an opportunity. There's someone out there that are looking for a way out. There's that haven't seen this business yet, you know, and they're waiting for an opportunity. They're waiting for something that can make them grow. Because this business, why we have these webinars, why we're doing this, most people think, oh, it's all about the money. Yeah, money is fun. I take it. But it's the growth. Because when you grow as a person, when you grow, when you have personal development, you listen to that word, you have personal development. You develop yourself. When you become better every day, when you start reading, and when you start reading, you get information. When you start feeding, you keep the information. That's why you got to be a feeder, because if you don't give it away, you can't keep it. If I were you, I would write that sentence down. You can't keep what you don't give away. So you're not called for everybody, but you're called for somebody. Okay? People are procrastinator. They procrastinate. They push things off to tomorrow what they could do today. That's another thing that will go away when you attend these webinars, when you have the motivation, when you really understand the energy. Okay, and most people, I love this saying. Most people, they think that proof of progress is success. No, it's not. Proof of progress is pain. You go through changes, you go through pain. It's not always easy. You got to prepare people for that. It's not always easy. I know Crowd1 is fairly easy compared to everything else, because we have such a great business idea. But still, growth is connected with pain. When you grow, you have pain, you have growth of pain. So leaders are readers, leaders are feeders. Number 3, leaders are seeders. When you have this information, you start connecting with your group. You got to put seeds out there. What does it mean? Well, ask a farmer if he can harvest anything without put any seed in the ground, and you will get the right answer. Because how can you harvest anything that you haven't sown? So you will reap what you sow. You can't reap anything that you haven't sown. So you got to get out there and put seeds out there. That means you got to talk to people. You got to be active. You can't rest when you have a little bit of success. You can't stop. So most people, I learned from the best. And I remember my first Christmas, when my sponsor told me, and I had pretty good success up till then. I've been in the business for a couple of months, and I was, let me see, I was coming up on something called gold executive position, which was good position. And my sponsor said, okay, he said, and this is a principle that has nothing to do with what I did back then. It's a principle. He said, now, he said, when Christmas comes, all the loser, they will do nothing. They will slow down. But what we are doing, he said, we will just get more action, get more activated, do even more than we've never done before. And that's a principle to be a leader. When other people are slowing down, you just put the pace up and you go out and do even more, because that's what it's all about. You got to be out there to put the seeds out. Being a seeder. Listen, you have your goals written down. You have your dreams. You don't have to tell your people about them, but they can feel it. When you know where you're going, people will follow you. And that's also the principle behind being a seeder. That is planting a dream in someone's head. Someone that never had the courage to think the way you think. If you got to be number one, you got to think like number one. I had a talk with my son. He's a hockey player, and I just used that expression yesterday, because it comes from a great networker, and I borrow it. That's also a good thing, borrow the good stuff. And he said, if you're gonna be number one, you gotta think like number one. And the same thing here. You have to be a seeder. You have to plant dreams in people's head. You have to tell them, listen, this opportunity is something that you've never seen before. You got to plant the dream so they get it, so they know where they're going. So leaders are readers, the leaders are feeders, and leaders are seeders. We have such an amazing crowd with leaders out there. Anthony's crew with with Blackwell and Kai and Jesper, Alan and Sergey. Those guys, I saw a picture of them. They had this kind of business meeting. They looked like they were having fun. That's what it's all about, having fun. Being leaders, getting together, have a dinner, planning the business. But you listen, some guys, they do too much of the fun stuff and not the other stuff. Well, and then they will have the results. But these guys are great leaders. They know where they're going. They have this business meeting. We have other great leaders. Antonio is a new star rising, Matom and Vinod. And, we have all these great leaders out there helping you guys. Björn is leading the team, and we have Smile, we have Renz, we have George, we have Anthony with his team. We have the Norwegian guys with Jan as the leader. And, there are leaders all over, and there are new leaders coming on board most every day. New leaders coming on board every day, because we have attraction. We have attraction. Listen, guys. We have a guy who made some super results in Africa. The Zulu Prince that I met on the cruise. Matubisi Mapuhulu, and he just turned. Was it? I think it was President 3-star or something. Anyway, that's what it's all about. You're leading the way. You're showing the way. When you take the next step in this business, you're showing your crowd that it's possible. When you take the next step and you are showing your team, this is how we do it. It is possible, because most people think, oh, it's not possible for me. Yes, it is, So I said the proof of progress is not pleasure, it's pain. Success is willingness to bear pain, to have that pain of growth when you grow, because you're going through some hard times, you're going through pain, you're going through some fun times too, of course. But listen, activity is the only cure. Activity cures everything. When you have some doubt, when you doubt yourself, when people doubt you, do something. Activity cures everything. And listen, guys, we have so much stuff coming up in 2020. We have the cruise coming up. We have 2 cruises, but we have the leadership trip that we're going to. The top leaders are going to an amazing trip that we will release information soon. But also, we have the big events. Listen now carefully, guys. So we can go to the next slide, I think. We have events coming up. The first, why we promote this event is that you always, take the first one. We have Manila event. We also have one big event coming up in South Africa, and we have upcoming events in South America, Europe. I think we will have something going in India. We have people in India now. We have people in Asia, in China, all over. One guy that's working with Björn, his name is Rune. I know Rune since before. He is a master. He is doing, a great achievements in Asia. So we'll have big events over there too. But now the biggest event that's coming up is Manila. And if you're in that region, you got to have tickets. So now we have an offer where you can buy one, get one free. Can you believe it? That's a giveaway from the company. So, and then people think, oh, I buy one and then I get, no, you're not buying one, because if you're a leader, you got a plan for you. This is how it works. If you're new and you you only have 3 people in your business. How many tickets should you buy? Well, it's up to you, but I can show you an example. If you have 3 people in your business, and you should at least buy 10 tickets. What? You say, but we only 3 of us. Yeah, but you're not going to stop now, are you? You're going to build towards the event. The event is it's the January of 25, 25th of January. So you're going to build from today up to the event. That means that more people are coming into your crowd. So you got to think like a leader. That means that you can't think like a loser. Loser buy 1 ticket. You got to buy tickets so you can distribute them to your organization. That means for a guy who have 3 people, at least 10 tickets. If you buy 10, you have 20. So your organization can grow. If you're 100 people in your business, well, how many should you buy then? Well, maybe thousands tickets. But I'm not telling you to buy 1,000 tickets. I'm telling you to do it the right way. Follow your leaders. The leaders know what to do. They know how they have a plan. But that's the way it works in this business. Some people they get it because when people are attending these events, they will get the big picture. They will get motivated. They will get new information. We are going to release some new stuff in Manila that will probably blow the wig out of people's heads. It will be such an amazing things that we will release that when you are there and you have the information before everyone else and you can start calling your downline, you can start calling your crowd, hey, listen, what they released, and you're the first one. You see that the principle works? Then you're a feeder. Because if you're a leader, you're a reader, you will attend the event. And if you're a reader, you get the information, you will feed your crowd, and you will start seed your crowd. You will put seeds out all over the world. You know how many people sitting and waiting for an opportunity like this? Thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of people are waiting for an opportunity like this. So get tickets for the event. This is the first event coming up, and I will be there. The leaders will be there. We will have presence from the company. I know that Johan is going to be there. We're going to have the gaming people there. I think Swerker is going to be there. It's going to be such an amazing time, guys. So just get tickets. Get on your phone right now. When this webinar is ending, it's time to go to action mode. It's time to call your people. It's time to say, were you on the webinar? Did you hear what he said? Let's go. Let's go rock and roll and make this happen in 2020. Listen, if you make a great January, your March will even be better. That's how it works, guys. So opportunity comes to everyone, but only those who take action will succeed. Guys, you're an amazing crowd. We appreciate you, and we know that you're doing the best job ever. Next webinar, next Sunday, be there. Leaders always show up. Thank you.